Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the SOS Small Business Success Podcast. I'm your host, Bonnie Bonadeo. Glad to be with you here in the new year. Excited about this year, excited about what's going on, excited about seeing opportunities and balance and everything kind of come back into order here. But today we're going to be talking about manifesting and how to be able to get what you want. And create that vision for yourself to be able to have that. So welcome aboard. Glad to have you with me. You guys, today it's the topic is going to be around mindset. So, I have the whole SOS strategy where I talk about sales, marketing, operations, mindset, and education, and those anchors that we have to have at times in order to kind of stabilize our business and keep us grounded a little bit, even though for the most part, in order for us to get to the destination, we have to set the sails. We have to be in motion, in action, on the go type of thing. But manifesting is one of those ways to be able to do that and achieve the desired results that you're looking for. So there's this theory that says that, don't focus on how you're going to get to what you want or how you're going to get to your destination. You really have to focus on the why. And I shared this in some email series that I had going out recently and some past podcasts that we did, is to be able to not focus in on how am I going to accomplish this, but what it is I want to accomplish and why I think it's important to accomplish. And that's kind of like some of the first stages of being able to successfully manifest what you want. So the idea behind that too is if you want to take a vacation, if that's one of your goals for this year is to be able to take a vacation, don't try and be like, I've got to start a savings account. I mean, these are things that you might have to do, but if you put the energy into, I've got to go to the bank and I got to start a savings account, or I got to save my tips now so I can, but not spend then. This extra cash is going to be how I'm going to make this happen. Or I'm going to carve out a certain amount of my profit and I'm going to put it towards this particular vacation. Airline flights are really expensive. I got to start checking on airline flights, because what you're in is you're in the how. You're creating that how of wanting to make this happen. What I want you to do is focus on where you want to go. So let's say that you're, traveling to an island and you want a beach vacation and you're going to an island. Focus on the island. Not on all the other stuff, not on the transportation, not on everything else. Focus just on the island. Create the vision of yourself on that island, and then allow that to be so integrated into your thought process that all the other things just start rolling up. I mean, you know how this is working, right? We look up something on Google, or we even talk about something in front of our phones, and the next thing you know, it shows up. So it's almost like our iPhones are helping us to manifest what we want. Now, call it crazy, call it good, call it bad. I don't care what you call it. It's kind of that same way. It's like you're creating your own algorithms of having that come to you. All right. So we're in the mindset category today. The title is, focus on the island, right? Focus on our destination. And again, when I was focusing on looking at last year, 2022, these are the 5 things that I kind of came up with in regards to the areas of opportunity that I see, the ones I'm struggling with, the ones you may be struggling with. And so we're going to go back to personal growth. It's worth the investment. And manifesting is definitely a personal growth opportunity for you to be able to really look at how you're going to achieve these things, but not trying to put the how into action right away, but really creating that clarity on it. So yesterday I had a VIP day with one of my clients, and it's, if you think about it, if I said to you, what are 5 things that you want to accomplish this year? 5 big rocks, 5 things that are important to you that you want to accomplish. And when you answer that question of, I want to accomplish something, what happens is that we end up going down the rabbit hole of why it's a problem, why you want to do it, which is great because you're getting yourself into the why, but then you're going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure it out in that moment. And part of the planning process and manifestation process is just creating this is what I want. I'm imagining myself there. I'm not trying to create the roadmap or the course between what I want and putting myself there in a visualization. Okay. All of that will work out. All of that is work that needs to be done. But in manifesting, you got to stay focused on it. So I want you to think about it like a telescope. This telescope is like this optical instrument. It's designed to be able to look at distant objects, right? So that you can see them closer. And it has these lenses that are curved in there to be able to kind of capture the light rays, and so that you can focus on something that's far away that appears closer. That's how I want you to look at this. I want you to imagine that, you're creating this narrow vision, looking through a telescope of what it is that you want, and not letting anything else around you interfere with that vision. Okay. Interfere with that vision, because the truth is you want to be the captain of your calling. So if your calling is to be a successful, profitable business owner, then you have to be the captain of that. If there's some specific thing, if their calling is, I have to hire more stylists this year in order to be profitable, then that's where you have to remain focused. You have to put all of that energy and manifestation into that particular piece in there. But I always like to say that if you want to achieve certain things in your business, it's because you have this desire to have a particular life or lifestyle that you're aiming for. So I'm always a big believer that you have to create that part of it first. If my salon is profitable, what does that lead me to? What does my life look like if I have a more profitable salon? Not, oh, my business is making more money and I have to stay on that, that hamster wheel to keep that business like that, to keep making the more money. What lifestyle is it bringing for you? What pleasure and joy is that going to bring to you? That's where you want to start your manifestation. The rest of it then becomes this roadmap working backwards to be able to say, okay, that's the life I want. Now, how am I going to achieve it? And then we start putting in the hows. So here's some simple ways to be able to start manifesting and start creating this opportunity. And I'll tell you that the greatest things in my life have been manifested, and one of them is being my son. So I had very difficult time getting pregnant. I was definitely, past, I was 36 years old when I had my son. So, at 33, 34, I'm kind of, past that window where they actually call you a geriatric pregnancy, because you're kind of past that window. It's shameful, I know, but the odds definitely are not great when you get past a certain age to be able to get pregnant. But for whatever reason, I wasn't able to get pregnant, and all of this stuff was happening in it. And so, of course, there was like all the doctor visits to be able to find out why, I'm not getting pregnant. I mean, clearly you understand the how to be able to get pregnant. But I happened to be at this seminar, and in this seminar, this lady had shared a story that she wasn't able to get pregnant, and that she, finally got to the point where she was able to meet with a fertility doctor, and he guided her to be able to get pregnant and have the baby that she'd always desired. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I randomly showed up to this event that night. I wasn't planning on going, but that was leading me to that, because I was so focused on that I wanted to have a child. I wanted to have a baby. And so it led me to these things that gave me this opportunity. So after the program, I went up to her and I asked her, who's your doctor? Because of course that was the most immediate part for me. I didn't understand that she had manifested this, and that the whole rest of her story was around how she created this opportunity and the people came to her. And I saw that as, okay, here I'm creating it and you're coming to me. So now I need to know who your doctor is. And she told me who her doctor was. And I called up the doctor, and there was like a 3-month waiting list. And So they said that, they would keep me on the waiting list, and if anything came open, that they would call me, right? So it wasn't even 2 days later that they called me and said that they had a cancellation. And I'm like, yes, I'll take it. And I went in there, and it was really interesting because all the other doctors were poking and prodding and, you know, checking charts and stuff like that as to why I wasn't getting pregnant. And this doctor said something very powerful to me. And this was like the lesson in manifesting here. He said, do you want to find out why you can't get pregnant, or do you just want to have a baby? And I immediately was able to answer that question. I just want to have a baby. So we kind of bypassed all the stuff that was bogging me down. I don't need to know why I can't get pregnant. I want to know that there's an option for me to have a baby in my life. So it wasn't even about me just being pregnant, because what if that didn't work? My ultimate goal was still having a child. So there's multiple paths to be able to make that happen. But fertility was obviously the path that I had to take. And when he shared that with me, I just felt like everything changed, everything opened up. It was the most powerful question he could have asked me. And it was the most clear answer I could have given him in that moment. And being able to do that, it was like it set everything in motion. So he had said, okay, so here's what you need to do. And he gave me this list of things that I needed to do. And, it's based on obviously a woman's cycle and everything. So that all happened very rapidly. Next thing you know, I am, going through this fertility process, and first time, and I'm telling you, within 30 days of meeting this doctor, I was pregnant. And I knew it. I didn't have to wait for a blood test. I knew it in that moment. I knew it once that happened. Like, I manifested this. It was so beautiful, such a beautiful process. And I knew everything was going to be okay. Now, I did have some complications in my pregnancy, and had to be on bed rest for a while. And they were very worried that I was not going to be able to carry this baby, or I was going to miscarriage my son. And a lot of things did not look like they were good, but I had faith. I had never had that much faith in my life. And I'm like, no, everything's fine. I am going to take care of myself. I'm going to do what they say, but everything's going to be fine. And exactly 9 months later, on the official due date, I had my son. And that is today. Today is his birthday. So he's 24 years old. Happy birthday, Devin. And it is a miracle, but it's also a miracle that I manifested. And it was the most powerful manifestation that I've ever done. And although I've dabbled in it and done little other things that I've manifested in a beautiful way, that one was so energetic to me. That one was so powerful to me. And I created this opportunity for my son to be a caring contribution to the world. And he really is. He really is. At 24 years age today, he is that contribution to the world. He's caring, he's compassionate, he's smart, he's kind. And I feel very lucky and very fortunate. Now, I do believe that there are lots of ways and processes that you can do to be able to manifest the things that you want in life. And I do believe that sometimes, the right people come into your path to be able to help you. And we have to be aware. We have to be, uber conscious of these signs that are coming in around us to be able to kind of create that path and keep us on course of what we're trying to accomplish here. So these are just some ways that I do it. And certainly like I said, there's multiple ways to be able to do it, but I'll start with the first one. And it's just to be able, you got to manage that desire. In other words, manage the desire meaning more of the outcome. So when the doctor asked me, do you want to find out why you can't get pregnant, or do you want to have a baby? It immediately removed all the obstacles for me. So now I just needed to be on this path of, I'm going to have a baby, not, I got to figure out why I can't have a baby. I'm going to have a baby. And it opened up that funnel of being able to kind of make things happen in there. So you got to manage that desire. You got to meditate on that desire. So you then have to imagine your life with a baby, or imagine your business profitable, or imagine that ultimate, beach vacation that you're aiming for, whatever that is. Okay. Number 2, accept deserving. And this is one that throws us off all the time. This is that FOMO effect, or the fear of missing out. This is also the kind of the imposter syndrome that happens. You have to accept deserving. Like, I believe in all my heart that I deserve this. Okay. No matter what's happened, no matter what might be stopping something from being able to do it, you deserve it. So it's not about you being smarter or putting more work in, more hours in, taking more action on things, being present in your business more. It's about accepting deserving. Okay. And when you can accept deserving, it kind of then like flatlines this frequency. It doesn't make it so jarred. All right. It kind of goes, okay, great. We got it. Now we know where we're going here. It's not all over the place. And then, of course, at that point, you can narrow your focus because you're not all over the place. And to be able to, number 3 is narrow your focus. Now, number 4 is intercept doubt. Because once you kind of like get on this path where it's like, this is what I want, this is what I'm aiming for, of course, life shows up, right? Everything in life is going to show up, and it's going to take you off course a little bit. And so you have to be able to intercept that doubt. And intercepting that doubt is going back up to number 1, managing and meditating on the desire, accepting deservance, and then narrowing your focus, staying true to what you believe. Okay. Number 5 is fast track your thoughts. Okay. So instead of kind of like allowing this, I haven't been able to have a baby, to I have a baby in my life, right? You have to fast track those thoughts. So in other words, eliminate everything in between there, eliminate all of the process. Like I titled this, focus on the island. So don't look at all of the destination. And yes, there's tons of memes out there that, life is a journey, life is about the destination, or life isn't about the destination, it's about the journey. Well, there are sometimes you just want the destination. Okay. Sometimes the journey can throw us off course. So we want to be able to just kind of stay on where that destination is and fast track those thoughts to that, and not get bogged down by the process, by what you have to do, or how hard it is, or how committed you have to be, or how many hours you have to put into it, or how much money you're spending on it. Just absolutely fast track those thoughts to, again, number 1, the desire. Okay. And have that energy and allowing. Okay. So at this point, then once you kind of get that groove going, there's going to be signs. There's going to be immediate signs, and you have to be on the lookout for these, because they're going to let you know that, okay, my energy is aligned, my frequency is in place, and now I'm allowing this to happen. I'm allowing this process to come to me. And I'm going to do my best to not stop it, not get sidetracked by it. Okay. So number 6, allow the energy. And number 7, stay on course. Okay. And you're going to get kicked off course numerous times, but stay back on course. Go back up to number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. And then of course, number 8 is timing is critical. So you have to be able to kind of like, let's say that manifesting is somebody or something. So whether you see it as a god, or, a spiritual entity, or even just, a thing. All right. You have to be able to give that thing, that God, in a sense, you have to give it a deadline. Okay. I want this by a certain time. You have to have kind of like a deadline. So, if I'm going to keep referencing the baby part, because it's 9 months that you're pregnant, right? So you have to be able to say, by this, this time next year, I will have a baby in my life, type thing. So you have to be able to kind of package up the timing on that for it to be really critical. So I hope that helps you to be able to manifest. So, manage the desire, accept deserving, narrow your focus, intercept doubt, fast track thoughts, energy into allowing, stay on course, and then timing is critical. Okay. So now I want you to imagine that you're aligning with this frequency. Okay. So remember the olden days when we had to dial into a radio station with a knob, okay? And we were trying to find the radio station, and we kept having to kind of go back and forth in order to kind of like dial it in. I want you to think about manifesting as a frequency like that. Now, today, we just hit a button and it finds it for us, okay? That's fast tracking manifestation right there, okay? So technology is allowing this to happen. So I want you to think you are allowing this to happen. You're the technology. You're allowing this to happen. Think of it like connecting to Wi-Fi. So, you go into, a business or a building or something like that, and you want to be able to connect with the Wi-Fi because your frequency of your phone is not working because you're not on a Wi-Fi system. So all of a sudden you log in and you connect to Wi-Fi, boom, you start getting what you want in there. I want you to think about manifesting like that, okay? Again, of course, meditate on the outcome you want versus don't want, all right? Words are very powerful here. Thoughts are very powerful here. So you want to be able to make sure that your language in your thoughts and out loud is what you want and not what you don't want. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard this before. If you haven't, when they did an entire campaign on the Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, they did an entire like billboard campaign. They invested all this money into all these billboards, and the billboards said, "Don't drink and drive." And what happened was that the power in those words that don't kind of gets ignored. So what resonates with our mind is drink and drive. And it's weird, I know, but you have to remember that certain words are not making, I'm going to say, oh, excuse me. God bless me. All right. So certain words get bypassed. In other words, certain words don't go into that manifesting funnel. So when you use don't or can't or won't, those words are definitely going to stop the manifestation. So they discovered that after these don't drink and drive billboards that went up everywhere, bumper stickers, everything, that drinking and driving increased. More deaths after that campaign than ever. So they had to kibosh that campaign because of the way that our mind reads and connects and manifests with certain words. Okay, so you always want to make sure that you're creating the meditation on the desire that you want and trying to eliminate the don't wants. Okay, so don't be like, I want a baby, but I don't want two babies if I go through fertility, or I want a baby, through natural childbirth and not cesarean type thing. Like what you're doing is you're kind of interfering with what's supposed to happen there. Okay. All right. And then finally, visualize your desire. Be in the space that you're creating the outcome. Be in the space that you're creating the outcome. Okay. Imagine yourself on that beautiful beach island. Okay. Imagine your business, like looking at your profitability reports. Imagine your business being profitable. Okay. Imagine that child being in your arms or in your, that space in your house type of thing. Okay. And again, look for signs, you guys, they're everywhere. The signs are all around you. It means that you're on course, and don't look back and look into the future. Okay. And be open to where it's taking you, and allow that to be able to kind of take you to that next place in there. So you guys know that I did recently lose my mother and my dog and my little Chihuahua. But I had taken a trip back to Phoenix last week to be able to continue to close out her estate. And it's in Phoenix, Arizona, right? So I'm pulling into the driveway and I see a female cardinal. Now, this is Arizona. There's not a lot of cardinals in Arizona, okay? And to spot a female cardinal is even more difficult because it's not the red bird like the male is. It's more of that beige colored bird, but it certainly has, the yellow beak, right? It's just sitting there. It flew right in front of me as I was pulling in and then went and sat on the fence. And I had just done a prayer as I was coming up to the house to be able to, say, Mama, I'm home. I'm going to take care of everything, help me out here, help me to kind of like streamline the things that need to get taken care of. And boom, a female cardinal shows up. And you guys know that cardinals are kind of representative of our past loved ones coming to send us in messages. So Phoenix, Arizona, female cardinal just shows up. Yeah, pretty remarkable. And again, because I spent some time meditating on this trip to be able to have everything go smooth, to have everything just be streamlined, and to be able to manage the outcomes and my emotions in the process of doing everything. So yes, even though I've lost my mother, I want to go back to the special part of the manifesting, which is that I was able to manifest a beautiful child into my life. And so my son is 24 years of age today. So happy birthday to you, Devin. I love you dearly. And yeah, so if you guys are seriously interested in manifesting the things that you want, I'm a life coach first. Okay. I mean, I'm a business coach because we have to dive into some business aspects in order for you to have the life that you want. But I'm a life coach first, always. I spend majority of my time on mindset and life coaching with my clients than I do diving into their reports and looking at their numbers. All right. Is it important? Yes. But is it what's stopping us from being successful? No. Sometimes it's more of the mindset. So when I say that this class that I'm doing on Monday, it's coming up this Monday, okay, the 19th. When I say that this class, or 16th, sorry, January 16th, when I say that this 90-minute session is about mindset and strategy, it's because we have to get you in the right frame of mind. And then we have to focus in on just those few things that you really want to accomplish that you think are going to create the greatest impact for your business so you can have the life that you live. So you're going to get the answers that you need. You're going to begin this year with success, and you're going to end this year with profits. But you got to join me on Monday from 12 to 1:30. It's going to be very fast. There'll be opportunities to be able to work with me after that I can share with you then. Registration is open now. And what you need to do is go to mindsetandstrategy.com, mindsetandstrategy.com. And we're going to work with you on your plan for this year so that you can have the life that you want and the business that you want. All right. Give yourself that 90 minutes because you know what? You deserve it. This is where deserving comes in. All right. I'll help you map that out. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing some of you on Monday that have signed up for the program. And otherwise, if I don't see you in the course, know that there's another one coming in February. We're going to repeat it again in February. I'll give you the dates on that as soon as I can. In the meantime, for the rest of this month, I've got a couple more podcasts I'm going to finish up because I'm on 96 and I'm trying to get to 100 podcasts. But I'm also going into some of my coaching certifications at the end of this month. So I'm going back into being the student, learning some new skills and techniques, recertifying myself in areas of opportunity so that I can help you have the life you want and the business that you love. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. I shall see you soon.